Hey, Jimmy D here, and this is a NoodleNet update. My wife is away uh, in New England, and so that means I've been left to my own demise. And so I decided to go down to the Noodle Labs, jump into my vintage desk station, and really go down a rabbit hole of fixing a few bugs or user issues that I wanted to on NoodleNet. The first one I have a note here is File Manager. I wanted to be able to link inside a project to File Manager, and the reason why I wanted to do that was, let me see if I pull up that one that I want, attach test. The reason why I wanted to do that was because, remember, this is all about the human AI interaction. It's a place where we both work. And I wanted them to be able to, my agent buddies, I wanted them to be able to reference a file in the file folder, which is specific to the project. So under the file folder, you'll see that I've uploaded two files. I've got one, which is a web-enabled Windows desktop gadget conversation. It's actually a project conversation that I had with ChatGPT. And this one I actually downloaded it, threw it into the project so we could have it for a later reference. And then I have a test attached text. Reason why I wanted to put that there is you can see here earlier I was testing it and I said, wait a minute, I want you to go to that test file and I want you to tell me what that color is. And if you see here, if I click on that and I open this up, the file there, the color is green. So it can reference that file. So I like that. And you can also, oops, I probably didn't need to do that. You can also right click on here. I need to add like a little icon there, share icon, but you can right click on there. I want to make this process easier, but you can see how that works. And I can go into this project. So I want to go test the file. Here's the file you looked at. And the idea is I could sit there and say, this is the attached file. I want you to look at it and tell me what the color is. Again, this is simple, but you can get the idea of where it can reference that file. And all I have to do is select the status, which is waiting on agent. And when it kicks in, when the heartbeat goes around and says, "Oh, hey, wait a minute, I need to do some work," and it'll go through all the projects, find the ones that are waiting on agent, and will do what I ask it to do. That's super valuable. Um, then another thing that you can get to chat up here. Also, I have it via Discord or whatever. But anyways, another thing that I got to is I was super mad because I was testing Google Gemini in my car because it's another way that I want to use the um, the outside resources to connect to NoodleNet. And with Google Gemini, of course, I have I Gmail, calendar, all those things, and I also was at one point in my life utilizing Keep, and I'm going, hey, Keep would be a great way into that part of the cloud to keep some information. And if I can use Gemini, which I'll probably do a demonstration later today, if I can use Gemini as my voice assistant and talk to it in the car, kind of like I do with ChatGPT also, which again, I'll show you, that would be great. But it needs to be able to reference some things. And that's where I figured Keep would be a good place as a memory layer. And we'll come to find out my license with Google doesn't allow me to access Keep. You have to have the higher license or whatever it is, like for work group or whatever. And I don't need to be spending any more money on AI than I'm doing right now. So I said, wait a minute, I'm going to do that inside NoodleNet. First off, I don't really have a problem with my custom GPT or Chat GPT reaching out to the NoodleNet API. So I'm going to do that in NoodleNet. So if I go over here to Noodle Notes, you'll see here's my notes engine. There's a couple things. It's based on my dream of having HyperCard when I was a kid. You can have notes. There we go. So we'll make this a little bit bigger here. You can have notes and you can type in, you can do all those things. You can edit all the things that you would expect, right? And you can also put those notes in a stack. See how it turns green? You can put those notes in a stack and you can have stacks. Here's a stack, and what I did is I fixed it so it makes when you create a stack. See, I'm locking a stack here. When you create a stack, it will create an index of that stack and kind of tell you what's in that stack. You can go forward, back, all that stuff, and you'll notice here that I've created a link, And when I click on that link, I can copy it. It's still the old way. I'm not really a fan of this, but you can see how that works. And so this is a note, and I can attach the note, and I'll click here. I can attach the note. Bang. I'm going to save it. Make it a little bit bigger, and you'll see it'll pull up that note. Oh, no, no. Let's try that again. Go over here. I'm gonna click that. I actually have to physically copy it. That's what I didn't do. There we go. And I click save. And now when I click on the note, it pulls up that note. So you can see that works. There's a couple little things that I'm working on, like how to easily delete these. But that's how that works. And I can also do the same for the stack. So if I go here and I copy this, and I want to make that better, I can go to the stack. I can click on this. And there we go. I click that, comes back, and I get the stack, and I get the same functionality. So that in itself is good because I can sit there and take notes. So let me close out here. This is my project, right? But I could be sitting there in my second brain, and I could be doing something. So I'll go over here, and I took it off my desktop, but let's just do Coach Insights. And I could be doing something in my second brain. I can add a note here, or on my desktop, I can add a note. Okay, test, note, test, and I can save it. And it adds a note. It'll add a note to the brain, as you can see there. And I then can add it to a project by dragging and dropping, or copying and pasting. And these actually, the idea is behind this is an application server, so these can actually be independent applications on your regular desktop, and that's one of the things that I'm starting to do. My first test is not that one. My first test is uh, Noodle Build and Noodle Forge and the skill engine and Noodle Build, which is an IDE for building these applications. So there's a couple of things that I want to fix to make the user experience a little bit better, but it's up and it's working. And the agents, that's the whole thing. The agents can sit there and look at all the things that you reference, all the things that you normally do in a day-to-day workflow, right? So I can go to my project boards. I can go over here, and I can go to a project. I happen to know it's at the bottom here. I got a lot of projects, and I can sit there and move these in progress. So I can see, again, it's all about the human AI interaction. I can see things are in done. The agent can move them back and forth here. If they're waiting for human, if they're marked for waiting for human, it won't move it past the review stage until a human's reviewed it. There's a lot of cool ways that'll work, but again, it's about how humans are able to interact with AI. Because if you're into this, and it's like the agents technically can see those files without any problem. The agents can deal with those files without any problem, but it's how the human sees that information is important, so it can communicate with the agents and actually get things done. Matter of fact, last night I had it go through my Pinterest board, right? So I have a Pinterest board of old books and unique covers. And I said, I want you to go through the Pinterest boards, like 2,035 images. And I want you to go through the Pinterest board and find the commonalities, the colors, develop a color style from this and all of that stuff, and give an executive report and all that. And it does it, and it puts it in the notes here for me when I woke up this morning. So those are some awesome things. On the other NoodleNet news, I have it here. I am opening up a Substack page. So it's noodlenet.substack.com, and I'll put the notes probably on the video here. And the idea is that I want to share my development journey live. I want or in public. And some of the things that I'm looking to do, like the first part of the development journey is go through the marketing app, how I built the marketing app inside the NoodleNet IDE. And it became an application that I and my agents use. There's a couple of other ones that I want to explore, which is the I mentioned in a couple of videos, the Google, getting reviews on Google, building that interface in here so the agents are working and doing that with you. Again, it's all about you and your agents and multiplying you, giving yourself a cape so you can be the superhero that you knew you were. And so I want you to, if you're interested in this, I want you to go there and just sign up on the mailing list. You can get that information. Founders are actually going to get a NoodleNet license, and that's something that's important to me too, because I really want to start. There's a couple of installs running right now, but I want to get out there and get people using this, and because I fully believe that that's the one missing piece here, and everybody's jockeying for it, and Microsoft's doing some great work for it. I saw some things that are coming up here. OpenAI is doing some great work on getting that human uh, or a user interface, a UI that is a little bit easier to use. I feel that this is a better approach. And remember, everything that I do is local first, and that doesn't mean that the models are all running local first. Although we do have some local models running for small managerial things, but the idea is that your data, your prompts, your information is all local first. So when the world changes, and it will change tomorrow, the next day. I mean, if you follow the news, it's crazy. When the world changes, your stuff is still here, and it's organized and built in a way that it can be easily transported to whatever the next is. Again, we're dealing with this is a full-blown AIOS, where you've got your OS level, you've got your agent's orchestration stack. This is built on OpenClaw, and then you've got your business layer. That's NoodleNet, all packaged together. So it's just one easy install. You can sit there and use different agents. You can use different models. And as things evolve, then you're there. So think about this as a small business. You'll spend the time putting your documents in files. You'll spend the time building your prompts. You'll spend the time building your business in this new AI frontier. And then all of a sudden something will change, or you've subscribed to this, the big cloud person, and all your stuff exists there. Again, I'm not saying don't embrace cloud. I embrace cloud, right? This is something I talked about in some of my other videos. I love cloud. I use the tools. I use frontier models. I use frontier models in this, in one of my subscriptions. But you need to make sure, as a small business or a solopreneur, you need to make sure that your data is your data. And I hate to say this, we're going back to to the pre-cloud days. And I remember when cloud started, and that was an argument that we always engaged in also. And it's true. Your data is your data. Make sure you have it and make sure it's backed up. All good stuff. All right. So it was a long night. It's been an early morning, and I'm getting ready to go on one of my world famous long coffee trips. This is Jimmy D. Lots of rambling. Peace out.